Okay, here we are at our second part of the Catia V5 demo. We just completed making our solid. Now the next thing I'm going to do is because I want to put our hole in the center, it's a 10mm hole. Next thing I'm going to do is I want to put a point because I want it to be 40 mils from this tangent point and in the center of this point and this point here. So I'm going to put a midpoint on this line. So I'm going to go to our shape, generative shape design, and here I have my point function. I'm going to say between. I'm going to rotate a little bit. Now one thing I want to point out with the mouse function is it's important that you have a 3-point, a center point, a right and a left. It's important that you have 3-function mouse, because as you see I go into the rotate a lot. If I hit the middle one down and then I hit the left button, it allows me to move in and out. If I just hit the middle one and hold down the left, it allows me to rotate. Okay, and it makes it so much easier. It really is a good option. So now back to adding my point. Sorry about that. I'm going to add it between 2 points, so I can select that point there, go down here to my definition and say midpoint, and it added the point right in the middle. That's what I wanted, so I just say OK. Very good. Now I go back to my part design workbench, and I have to go into Sketcher because I have to add my circle to my. I'm going to sketch on this top surface, so I go hit the Sketcher icon, hit the top surface, and I've got my point there. But I'm going to add my circle first. Just pick anywhere, put my circle in there, and then I go into dimensioning. And that's where that point comes into play. Click that twice. Now my circle was selected. I do want my circle, so I come out here and select that. Now I'm going to select the center point of my circle and the point I just added, and notice how it's a skewed dimension. But if I right click, I get this context window which allows me a horizontal measurement direction and a vertical measurement direction. I'm going to use both of those, but I have to do them one at a time. So here's my horizontal. Automatically snaps to horizontal, and that's good. So I'm going to go back and do that same dimension again. And again, it gives me a skewed, only this time I'm going to do vertical, and that's good. So now I can exit there, but I need to change the dimensions. My diameter I want to be 10. Good. This dimension, as I said, I want to be 40 from the edge, and this dimension right here, my 10, I want it to be centered on that. So I can double click that and type in 0, and now I have my hole right where I wanted it. Very good. So I'll exit my Sketcher at this point. Now my hole is highlighted. That's fine. Sometimes you have to be careful about exiting Sketcher with the geometry, the sketch highlighted, but it thinks that you're going to use it right away. In this point we are. I'm going to make a pocket. So I click the pocket, and this one, on this particular one, I want to select last. Okay? By selecting last, it's going to go to the last surface or plane, and that's what I wanted. And I can do a preview, and so it's giving me a hole all the way through. One nice thing about this, when I say last, is that if I change the dimension of my block, my block's 30. If I go back later and change it to 40, it'll still go to the end of the part. But if I had only put a dimension in there, I would then have a solid piece of geometry at the end there, because it wouldn't have gone all the way through. So I say, okay, so now I've got my home. Now I need to put a fillet around this edge, but I definitely don't want this to be highlighted. So I click in the field, and that deselects any of the geometry. So here I want to put my fillet. I'm going to 5mm fillet around this edge. Do a preview. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, so now I've got that. Now the next item I need to do is the shelling of it. Okay. This is the surface I want to remove. The shelling icon is over here. And now we're going to set the definition. The material thickness, basically I want it to be 3. It's defaults at 1, so I go to 3. Now the face is to remove. I want to remove that face. Okay, say OK, and there we go. It's shelled. It's all nice. And that is the end of our trim cover. And that is the end of the demo. Thank you for listening, and I hope this was valuable. Please visit solodesignIncorporated.com and request any other Catia V5 demos that you would like. Thank you very much.